Hey, look at that. It's the same shirt and the same iced mocha. Thumbs up for pre-filming. Hey everybody, welcome back, even though it doesn't seem like we've left because I'm still wearing the same shirt and drinking the same iced mocha. So I've mentioned in like the last couple of videos that I'm going on holidays, and I don't know if you guys have gathered, I'm really excited about it. So I'm going down to visit Pal's City of Books, and I am stoked for it. And on my phone, I have a shopping list of books I want to pick up while I'm down at Pal's. So I wanted to talk about not my shopping list or anything, because that could go on forever, but I wanted to talk about some auto-buy authors. So really the first auto-buy author should come of no surprise to you guys, and that is Melanie Dickerson. Melanie Dickerson has had 3 series right now. So she has the Hagenheim fairy tale retelling series, which the 7th and last book, The Silent Songbird, is coming out in November, and this is the 6th book, The Golden Braid. I love these fairy tale retellings. I love finally having medieval fiction that I wish I had as a young girl. I didn't have clean medieval fiction. Even some of the young adult stuff I read always had content in it that I didn't find appropriate for myself, but I didn't have the maturity to deal with it, and now I finally have that fix I have for medieval romances with a fairy tale element to it that is still epic and romantic and not having a lot of the extra content in it that I don't appreciate now as an adult. I absolutely love her writings too, and I love reading her from the first couple books. And the first couple books got really repetitive and predictable as well, but then you really start to see the actual growth of the author as she is writing from her debut novel to her newer stuff now. And that's what I like about starting off with a debut author with their debut work and kind of growing along with her. So I'm really excited for her future books. She has the Hagenheim fairy tale retellings. She has the Thorn Beck fairy tale retelling books, as well as the Regency Spies of London books, which is a Regency time period espionage type book setting, which was, I think, really enjoyable. At the moment now, I currently own all of the books that she has published, and I am very excited and will automatically be buying and pre-ordering her books. I skip the library altogether. I just go straight to the bookstore or pre-order Melanie Dickerson's books. Another auto-buy author for me that I found was somebody who hasn't written anything kind of since, or won't be writing for a while, unfortunately, but when she does, I will be picking them up, and that is Kirsten McGhee. Kirsten McGhee wrote the Anomaly trilogy, as well as kind of 3 companion contemporary novels. Now, I'm not a huge contemporary fan, and this is kind of a little out of my age range, but I really appreciate the heart and the stories and the growth that the characters go through in these books, and would highly recommend them as extremely great books for young girls to read. They're just fantastic novels, which is why I bought them, and just I wish I had books like this when I was growing up, to be honest. These would have been just what I needed. Her Anomaly series is probably my second favorite series next to the Hunger Games for Dystopian Trilogy. It was amazing. The story writing, the whole full circled storyline was just mind-blowing. Just the way her story digressed, you thought she kind of lost track. You kind of thought, where the heck are you going with this? And then full circle, bam, great wrap-up story. It was just, her story writing is phenomenal, the way she creates and brings out a story. Now, currently, she only has the 6 books. She has the Companion Trilogy and the Anomaly Trilogy, so I currently own all of her books that she has published and am patiently waiting for her to write more. Another auto-buy author for me that I discovered this year was a contemporary romance, which, if you know me, I have like dystopians, fantasies, and medieval fiction on my shelf. I don't actually own a lot of contemporary romance, and this one blew me out of the water, and that was Close to You by Kiera Isaac, and she has also become an auto-buy author for me. I was sent Close to You as a gift from a friend, from Melanie from Christian YA Books and More. She sent this to me. This was my first book mail at my new residence. So thank you, Melanie, for my favorite book of 2016. This is her debut novel. I've gushed about it, and you guys all know it is a Tolkien-themed romance. So for a fantasy nerd like me to have a contemporary romance centered around one of my favorite fantasy series, it still had that fantasy element that I needed, even though it wasn't the focus. And it was very realistic, very well written, and just one of the best romances I have read in a long time. She has another one coming out this fall that is called I Can't Help Falling. And when you have a Tolkien themed, you must follow it up with a C.S. Lewis themed. So this one, her next one takes place in Oxford, England, and it involves an antique shop and a wooden wardrobe. Yes, sign me up. I will be auto buying that, definitely pre-ordering that and getting that one. And anything else that she puts out, I definitely love her writing and the way she writes her characters. Another auto-buy author for me is Rochelle Decker, who wrote my favorite book of 2015. This is The Choosing. This is her debut book and her part of her debut trilogy, the Seers trilogy. The Calling came out this year. Absolutely loved it. So I currently own both books. I own The Choosing and The Calling, and then the third book is coming out. Now at the back of The Calling, it said something about The Awakening, so I just assumed the third book was going to be called The Awakening, or I read it as in the third book was being called The Awakening, and then it said coming fall 2016. See, I'm not lying. The back of my book says coming fall 2016, and it says The Awakening. So, when I look up on Goodreads when the third book of the Seers is coming out, it's called The Returning. Okay, so it's called The Returning, so maybe I misread the part about the title. I got it. The release date is January 2017. That is not fall 2016, Tyndale. 2016 fall is September, October, November, not January 2017. So I have to wait until January. So I have 2015, 2016, and now 2017. It takes forever to get books from these people. Anyway, I will definitely be auto-buying Rochelle Decker. I'm not a huge fan of her father's work, Ted Decker's work, because he gets really dark, really creepy, really violent. So I haven't been a fan of his writing, but her writing is definitely really, really awesome. And I love how it just keeps you going. Like, it's a thick book. There's slow moving moments in it, but even those slow moving moments, you need to keep going because you need to find out what happened. I can't help but read these thick books in about a day and a half. I'm just waiting for the books behind me to fall. The next auto-buy author for me was somebody else I discovered this year, and I have gushed about it on this channel and have recommended to you guys time and time again. In fact, I've seen a couple of you pick it up for booktubeathons and for summer reads. And so I see you guys. I know you're reading it. I know you're listening to me. And that is William Ritter's Jacoby series. I love the way this guy writes an adrenaline-packed series. I am not a paranormal fan. I find it too creepy, too just, I get creeped out very easily. Like, I watch an episode of Doctor Who and I'm not going to be able to sleep at night. So I was weary picking this up. These were library books to begin with, and then I instantly ran out and got them from Book Outlet and loved them. I cannot wait until the third book in this series comes out, and I'll be interested to see what else he writes, because he definitely writes an adrenaline-packed book. If I didn't have to do adult things like have a job, eat, and sleep, I would have read this in one shot. It was definitely a action-packed book that just pulled you along, and you honestly felt tired after reading it because you just felt like you were running with the doctor for miles, because it has that kind of a feeling to it, this book, and it's a great adventure. Would highly recommend William Ritter's Jacoby series if you haven't already heard me recommend it. But William Ritter is definitely a great action-packed, adrenaline, fast-paced writer. Another auto-buy author for me is somebody I wish would write more books. Now, I know she wrote some sort of dragon series. I could be wrong. There was something on Goodreads. And I know she's written that series before she wrote her Hunger Games series. Yes, that is Suzanne Collins. I would love to see more from Suzanne Collins. And if she wrote more, I would buy more. There is something about her writing that just endears you to characters. And you really start to invest in these characters. I'm not somebody who invests in the lives of fictional characters. I love them, I move on. I read about them, I move on. But I really invested in the lives of Katniss, Peeta, Prim. Like, I just felt so connected to these characters, and I love that about her characters. So I would definitely pick up more YA from her. I just haven't seen her write anything since The Hunger Games. If you guys know of other series by her that you think I should read, let me know in the comments below. I would love to read them, but definitely would love to see more from Suzanne Collins. The next two authors are authors that I don't have any of their books from, and are actually hoping to, and probably the main books I want to pick up while I'm down in Portland, and that is Marissa Meyer. I loved the Lunar Chronicles. I absolutely love them. They took me by surprise. I didn't think I would like sci-fi fairy tale retellings, and I loved them. And I found another one that was similar to that I absolutely loved. So sci-fi and fairy tales, who knew how well they would go together? And I absolutely loved the Cinder, the Lunar Chronicles. It was fantastic. She has Heartless coming out, which is a Alice in Wonderland Red Queen type retelling, so I'll be interested, and I'll definitely be buying her books. I got the Lunar Chronicles from the library, but I definitely hope to pick up my copies of the Lunar Chronicles while I'm down in Portland. Another author who did a really great job of combining fairy tales and science fiction was R.C. Lewis. I picked up Stitching Snow for the Booktubeathon, which I failed horribly at, but I picked up Stitching Snow for the Booktubeathon and loved this book. I felt like I was watching a movie. I would pause, go do something, come back, and then I couldn't remember what I had been watching on Netflix or what I'd been watching, then I realized I'm reading a book, and it played out so well with my imagination. So I would definitely pick up more from her because it just drew you in, and the way she implemented the fairy tale elements into a sci-fi. Her writing was fantastic. It was clean writing as well for both Marissa Meyer and R.C. Lewis. And I would definitely buy what else these both authors have coming out. So fantastic sci-fi fairy tale retellings. My last author is a brand new author, and I haven't even read her book yet. But she would be an auto-buy author for me because she is a friend, and she's a dear friend of mine, and was the first friend I made on BookTube. And through her, I probably met all of my other BookTube friends. And so that author is Sarah Ella. I would buy her books. She is an auto-buy author for me already, and all I have of hers is an advanced reader copy. I don't even have a finished copy of her book. But Sarah Ella is an auto-buy author for me. Definitely just to support a new up-and-coming author, and to see somebody's dream come true is just super cool. Like, all of these authors, when they write these books, these are their dreams come true that you are holding. And Sarah Ella has kind of opened that perspective for me, that the book you are reading is somebody's goal, somebody's dream that they wanted to accomplish. And when you're holding that book, you're holding somebody's dream come true. And that is why Sarah Ella is an auto-buy author for me. So I would definitely pick up more books from her. She opened that perspective to me that this is somebody's hard work. This is their dream in your hands. And definitely go check out her Past the Pages videos that she does that gives you kind of the behind the scenes of this book coming to be. I'll leave her channel linked down below or up here in a card for you to check out, but definitely go check out Past the Pages. It definitely gives you a behind the scenes glimpse of the publishing company and what it takes to become a up and coming new author. So definitely go check that out. I will leave the pre-order links for both Amazon.ca and Amazon.com down below for you guys to go check out. Go check out her videos, go check out the creation of Unblemished and what it took to create this book. And that is it for me today, guys. As always, you can follow me on Goodreads, Instagram, and Twitter. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye!